We all have that space as hobbyists or builders that seem to be the catch-all for the leftovers and random junk in general. Whether it's a kitchen or desk drawer, a corner of a room, or in my case, the whole room, it eventually needs cleaned up. And well, that time has come. The last few years have been full of refurbishes and rebuild projects. Somehow I've accumulated a stockpile of parts and pieces that are not only a sight for sore eyes, but a danger for sore knees to navigate through. So with this being long overdue, it's time I get to it and clean out this death trap and toss out what is junk. And here I am convincing and reassuring myself that this was a good idea. I simply start by removing the crap out of the middle so that I'm even able to get in the room without falling over things. Most of this mess here is the bass drum heads and hoops from other projects, as well as the stands and those kinds of parts. After gaining a safer OSHA-approved access to the room, I start taking out the shells and the drums, some being ones I forgot I even had. Here I got this little box of wrapped scraps that even have a couple of full pieces, and in moving this box, it sparked the idea for what you will see later in the video. Also, these Sterilite drawers are full of lugs, lug screws, washers, tension rods, all that kind of stuff. And as I'm moving things, I'm finding bags full of it as well. I need to go through and sort all of this stuff, but that's for another day and maybe possibly another video. I finish up by getting all the little knick-knack stuff put in its appropriate piles to be able to get put back into the room. Also, I get the shelves out to get ready for the next step. Oh, side note, as I was moving a pile of heads, I also found a pair of Zildjian new beats that I totally forgot I even had. I guess that's the cool surprise of the day, right? Okay, so after I get this down to the bare room, I hit the walls with a nylon brush and broom just to find a few surprises hidden behind the cobwebs and dust. This is almost a 120-year-old house and it has its flaws, and I know this is not the correct way to address this issue, but for now, spray foam will fill the void and get me through it. Up next, and you probably guessed it, time to slap a Band-Aid over this boo-boo, or I mean to paint. This is also the same paint that I used for the marching kit video, and I'm just stirring it here with a broken drumstick. I begin with my less than professional paint technique of double fisting, double dipping, and super dripping as I lather the walls with a soulless tint of flat black awesomeness. This was a rather lengthy process given how small this room was, but I chalked it up to it being brick and completely uneven, but a paint sprayer would have came in clutch right here. So maybe in the future I will invest in one. The final touch before putting everything back in was to get a better light setup. A cheap and easy way was this light socket adapter and an LED shop light from Wally World. which this light is linkable, so I can add more if necessary down the road very easily. Finally, it was time to put everything back in after downsizing the piles and giving some order to the madness. I had stated earlier that when moving the box of wraps, it had given me an idea. Well, my thought to this was to make myself a bit of a workspace in here, away from the woodworking tools and dust, so that I can have somewhat of a finishing room to keep things cleaner and more organized. All of this was spur of the moment on a rainy day, so absolutely no planning had gone into taking on this task. But I do plan to build and add things like small shelves or pegboard to hold parts, as well as tools for my builds in the future. So maybe down the road I will revisit this topic to add on to it, but for now, I'm calling it done. Fortunate enough to have this extra room for this kind of stuff in storage, and while I was griping about it the whole time in doing so, I'm glad I did finally clean it out, because now I know where things are, I have a better way to see that all when I need it, and I have the room to finish builds as well as room for more. But until next time, go clean up whatever mess you may have, and drums, drums, drums.